Hey, morning. I just wanted to make a quick video today explaining function calling as it relates to large language models. Specifically, we're going to be looking at how OpenAI APIs handles function calling. Another name for function calling that's frequently used in the LLM space is tool calling. And the way that function calling works on OpenAI APIs is going to be very similar to the way that it works on Anthropic's Claude and Google's Gemini models. Basically any model that supports function or tool calling, this is the way it's going to work under the hood for the most part. On this slide, you can see an overview of the process from end to end. We're going to walk you through each of these steps here with a little Python example of how this works. In this example here, you see on the slides, they are using a Python function called getWeather. They're passing it their current location, and then they're exposing that Python function to the LLM. The LLM in turn is going to request that they call that with a specific location variable inside of the Python code. The Python code is going to call it with the variable of Paris. It's going to get the weather, which it returns as 14 degrees. And then it's going to return that response over to OpenAI, which is then going to include that as part of the final text response back to the user. All right, so let's break this down in a little more detail. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to define our Python functions that we're going to expose to the LLM so that it has the ability to choose to use those functions to carry out certain programmatic tasks. So in this example, we're going to expose two functions to the LLM. We're going to expose one function that's going to go ahead and do a Caesar encode. So there's a Caesar cipher, which essentially needs two variables. It needs the text that you're going to encode. It also needs a shift value. And essentially what it does is, let's say you pass it the plain text of the letter A and you send it the shift value of 3, then it's going to go ahead and shift that 3 letters in the alphabet. And then when you do the decode, you're just going to do the opposite. You're going to get the encoded text, and then you're going to shift back 3 letters in the alphabet if the shift value is 3. So really easy cipher, and was used back in the day. And we're going to use this, we're going to create these functions and we're going to expose them to OpenAI and let them select how they want to operate based on the user's query. Okay, so once we have those functions built to do the Caesar cipher encode and decode functions, next we're going to do is we're going to package that up in a tool definition that we're going to pass eventually to the OpenAI APIs. Here's what those function definitions or tool definitions are going to look like. We will use the example of the Caesar encode function here, and we'll kind of break it down. So inside of our Python code, we have a function called Caesar encode, and so we will want to put as the name value inside of our defined functions the same name, the Caesar encode value. Then next, we will want to define a doc script inside of our function, as well as a description variable inside of our function definition. And typically we want these to be the same value, and we want it to be really easy for the LLM to understand what this function actually does, because it's going to be making a decision based on the user's query, what tools it should be calling or what functions it should be calling. And the way it's going to determine that is based on the descriptions here that you're providing it. So here we're saying encode a string using the Caesar cipher. So if it sounds like the user is asking for something like that, then it will probably request that it uses this function. Then next, we're going to map the inputs into the function into this tool definition. So the first thing it needs is it needs a text string. So we're going to go ahead and tell it that it needs that as a variable. And then the next thing it's going to need is the shift value as an integer. So we're going to go ahead and define that as the second variable. And then last but not least, we're going to tell it which of those fields are required by the function in our Python code, which in this example, they're both required. So we're going to list both those values here under the required section. Okay, so next we're going to take that tool definition and we're going to take the user's prompt and we're going to package it up into a message, and we're going to pass that message to the OpenAI APIs so that the LLM model, in this case ChatGPT 4.0, can make an educated decision on what it wants to do. So we define a message variable here. We give it the role of user. We say, will you encode this text using the Caesar cipher? The text is hello world. Then we're going to go ahead in our code and we're going to create a OpenAI client. And then we're going to do client.chat.completions.create. And we're going to send that prompt to the LLM with also information about the two tools, the Caesar encode tool and the Caesar decode tool. And then we're going to let it make a decision about what it wants to do next. So that's that whole initial request going off to the OpenAI APIs. Okay, and here we're defining the message as it gets sent off to the OpenAI APIs. And based on that message and the tools that are defined, the OpenAI API is going to either respond back with an answer, or it's going to respond back requesting that we call specific tools with specific parameters. So in this case, when looking at the reply, we can see that the content is none, so it didn't really give us, a natural language response yet, but it has populated the tool calls variable, and it's requested that we call the tool called Caesar encode, and that we pass it the arguments of hello world with a shift value of 3. So then we're going to go ahead and map that response inside of our Python code. So here we're going to say, if the response message has the tool calls variable populated, then go ahead and extract the name of the function we want it to call. Once we know which function it wants us to call, we're going to go ahead and call that function with those arguments inside of our Python code, and we're going to get the answer to that. So here's an example of that. So if the function name that it's requesting us to call is called Caesar encode, then go ahead and get the two parameters, the text parameter and the shift value, and then call it the Caesar encode function and get the result. So you can see here that all of the code that's getting executed is on our side, the application developer side. And really the LLM is just telling the application what path or route to follow inside of the code. Next, we're going to take the results from calling those functions inside our Python tool, and we're going to append them to the bottom of the messages. So the messages basically has 3 important things right now. It's got the prompt that we initially sent off to it. It's got the tool that it requested that we run. And now we're appending to that the result of the function or tool that it requested that we run. So we're going to send all that data back to the OpenAI APIs, and we're going to let it make an educated decision. And in this example here, this is kind of another view of the flow. So initially we said, will you encode this text using the Caesar cipher? The text is hello world. Then it came back to us and says, okay, I want you to call the function called Caesar encode. I want you to pass it the string hello world with the shift value of 3. Then we did that inside our Python code, and we get back this encoded string, the coher zerg string. And then we append that result to the messages, and we send all that information back to OpenAI's APIs once again. Then it's going to analyze all that information and give us back a natural language response, some text that we can display back to the user. So here we see in the final response from the OpenAI APIs, we get encoded using the Caesar cipher with a shift of 3, the text hello world becomes coher zerg. So that's basically the flow of exposing functions or tools to OpenAI, and then running those tools or functions, and then providing it back the results, and then getting the final answer back to the users. Now, obviously, this could be a little more complex if you defined multiple tools and it needed to use multiple tools to get to the final result. Also, this could be less complex if you used one of the frameworks that are out there. For example, a LangChain or a LangGraph type implementation, or an AutoGen/AG2 type implementation. We'll try to abstract away a lot of this to make it easier on yourself as the developer, which is one of the benefits of using those frameworks versus just, hitting the APIs straight up. Okay, so let's just look at the code real quick. It's going to be pretty similar to what I just walked you through, but essentially in our code example here, we're going to have the Caesar encode function, we're going to have the Caesar decode function. Then I just like to call those functions with the string hello world to make sure they actually work as intended before I start involving the LLM, and because sometimes you'll get unexpected results from the LLM. Then next, we're going to go ahead and define the API key and the model. Those are just coming from the app.ini file here, and the model I'm using is the 4.0 model. The 4.5 model has come out and also supports function/tool calling, but it is way more expensive to use. So for most of my use cases, I'm still using the ChatGPT 4.0 model, but hopefully the 4.5 model will come down in price over time. And based on my limited testing, there has been some scenarios where 4.5 does a little bit better on selecting the right tools to call/functions to call, and seems a little bit smarter at that. But for the most part, you get about the same results with both models right now. Okay, then next we're going to do the function definitions that we're going to pass to the OpenAI by the API. So we're going to define the Caesar encode function. We're going to define that doc string or description. We're going to define the variables that you do pass to it and what type those are, whether they're a string or integer. And we're going to let it know, hey, these are both required variables if you want to use this function. We're going to do the same for the Caesar decode function. And then we're going to go ahead and craft our message, which is the, will you encode this text using the Caesar cipher? The text is hello world with a shift value of 3. We're going to send this off to the OpenAI APIs. and we're going to include the two tools that are available for it to call, or functions it's available to call. Then we're going to look at the response we get back. We're going to see if it wants us to call a tool. If it does want us to call a tool, what's the arguments for that tool, and what's the name of the function it wants us to call. If that function it wants us to call is the Caesar encode function, let's make sure we've got the variables, and then let's call Caesar encode here with the text and shift variables. We'll get the result, and we're going to append that tool call here, the roles tool, with the result. So that way, next time we talk to the OpenAI APIs, we can inform it of what happened, what the result of that function call was. So here we go. We're going to make another call via the client.chat.completions.create API to the OpenAI model, that 4.0 model, and then we are that 4.0 model. And then we're going to go ahead and take that completed message that has the initial prompt, the request to call the tool, and then our response from calling the function back to OpenAI. Then OpenAI is going to respond with a plain text response that anyone can understand, and we're going to display that back to the user via this print variable function. So I'll go ahead and run that. All right, so here we see the initial, just testing those Python functions out. You can see hello world encodes to coher zerg, and then it decodes again to hello world, so we know those functions are working as intended. Then next, we're going to go ahead and create our function definition that we're going to pass to OpenAI via the APIs so it understands how to use our functions. Then we're going to go ahead and send that to the OpenAI APIs with the prompt, and we're going to get the response to that. Now we can see in this response, we're not really getting a message, but we are getting a request to call the Caesar encode function and pass it the hello world string with the shift variable set to 3. So inside our Python code, we're going to go ahead and process that request. We're going to realize, okay, it wants us to call this tool or function with these variables. We're going to go ahead and call that inside of our Python code, and we're going to get that encoded response. So here we go. We're about to call the Caesar encode function. We call it, and we get the coher zerg as the encoded response. Then we're going to append that to the messages and let it know that that's the response that the tool call got us. And we're going to send that all back to OpenAI. Now, OpenAI is going to take all that data from the initial prompt request, requesting the tool, the response from the tool, and it's going to give us back this human readable output. It's going to say the encoded text using the Caesar cipher with a shift of 3 is coher zerg, and then we're just going to parse that out to display it to the user in a slightly more friendly format. So that's basically function/tool calling, how it works under the hood. And essentially anytime that you're using one of those agentic frameworks, this is what it's going to be doing, specifically when it's talking to OpenAI, and it's using kind of this function calling, which is basically the standard at this point, the way that LLMs inform applications to run tools and the way tools give it back that information to make educated decisions. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and if you want more content like this, leave me a comment down below and let me know what else you want to see, and I'll get to work on that. I'm working hard for you guys to make you a video every day, so yeah, please show me some love, and I'll see you tomorrow.